Alright, what's going on everyone? So today I'm working on the S2. I am re-greasing the drive shaft, or the prop shaft, whatever you want to call it. Let's go underneath the car and I'll show you why I'm doing this. Okay, alright, so we're underneath the car right now. And this is your drive shaft. So it connects from your transmission, and then it connects to your differential at the back there. And I noticed this issue before, but I never really thought it was an issue at first until I saw a thread on Reddit and someone else was having the same issue, or they noticed the same issue. And basically, as you can see, there's like a bunch of dirt, or at least what I thought was dirt, right here and here, right here. So I didn't really think much of it, but turns out that all of this, it's grease, and it's grease from your drive shaft. And basically what happens is, as these get older, well, first you should understand your drive shaft. So you have your drive shaft here, and then you have, this is called a cap, this portion here, and then your bearing sits inside here. And the cap here, it's held in by screws, but it's also held in by a very thin layer of HONDABOND. And basically over time, the HONDABOND degrades, which causes the grease from the inside, just a little crack is enough for the grease to basically fly out as this is spinning at a high RPM. And as you can see, the grease perfectly lines up to where the cap connects. So right here, and if you look closely, you can kind of see it's a little wet along the edge here, and that's likely the grease. Yeah, basically what we have to do is take out the drive shaft, take apart this portion here, remove the grease, put the new grease in, and then yeah, that's basically it. And then you do the same thing on this side as well. But one thing to note, at least from what I searched up, 90% of people will strip these bolts. They're made from a very soft metal, so basically when you take them off, you're likely not going to be able to use them again. Instead, I recommend buying the LHT bolts. They're made with a harder material and they can be reused multiple times. So if you ever change your clutch, well, the LHT bolts can be reused again. Alright, so one thing that I forgot to mention was some people replace the boot as well, but just by a quick look of it, my boot looks like it's in decent condition. Plus, the grease is not leaking from the boot, it's leaking from the cap, which I can obviously see. But if it's leaking from the boot, you need to get new boots. Alright, so basically the tools you need, well, the important ones, are the LHT drive shaft bolts. These are fairly cheap. They're actually pretty affordable to buy, so I highly recommend you buy them. You're also going to need the CV2 REDLINE CV2 grease. This is what we'll pack the drive shaft with. And then ideally you want to get HONDABOND, but I already have I already have PERMATEX Ultra Gray, so I'm going to use this instead. And apparently this dries faster than HONDABOND, so HONDABOND, I think you have to let it sit for a day or two, but this dries a lot quicker, so you can use your car earlier than HONDABOND. Alright, so first things first, get your car on jack stands. I have it on all fours. However, technically you can get away with just having the rear jacked up. You don't necessarily need the front, but I just wanted a little bit more space. Alright, next, make sure your car is in neutral and then put your e-brake on. Alright, so I don't know if this is necessarily needed, but I want to differentiate the front and the rear, so I'm just going to mark it here. Alright, so now I know that's the front. And for the rear, I guess I'll just do like dots, I don't know. So that's the rear. Alright, so I started loosening the bolts, and yeah, I can 100% tell you that these bolts will strip. So you're not going to be able to use a ratchet. I found that it's stripped a lot easier with a ratchet. Maybe if you have a 6mm hex socket, it might come out easier. But I actually watched one of Engineering Explains video, and he recommended using an impact because the impact will reduce the likelihood of the bolt stripping. And yeah, so far these are coming out pretty easily with the impact. Alright, so I got these bolts removed. I'm leaving one in. That way, you know, this doesn't fall on me. Once I remove all the bolts, I'll remove this last one. Same on this side. So yeah, next step, you're gonna go inside your car, put the e-brake down, and then we'll rotate this. Alright, so put the e-brake down. Alright, e-brake down. Go ahead and just rotate. See, it rotates freely. Alright, so now we have access to these 3 bolts and those 3 bolts. Alright, so you're gonna head back in your car and put your e-brake on and then remove these bolts. Alright, so I finally got the Driveshaft out. Holy shit. The very last bolt I had completely stripped. So I had to cut the head off. And once you cut the head off, you can take the Driveshaft off, and then this unscrews super easily. Literally the head is what holds it in tightly, but yeah, you're gonna have to cut the head off and remove it. But yeah, now we can go ahead and start disassembling this. Okay, so this is the Driveshaft, and if you remember, we marked the front with the lines and the rear with the dots. So yeah, so now I'm gonna go ahead and disassemble this. Alright, so grab yourself a 5mm Allen head and loosen the 2 Allen heads here, or hex heads, whatever, holding in the cap. Alright, so the cap slides right off, just like that. And as you can see the grease on the inside. I know it's a little dark, but see the grease. And so essentially we want to remove as much grease as we can and pack it with some new grease. So you're gonna pack it with CV2 REDLINE CV2 grease. Alright, here's a better view of the grease. Alright, so get yourself some brake clean and just clean the inside of the cap, and then you can just wipe it off. And then next, we'll do the same thing with the inside of this. So you can just clear off as much grease as you can, and then spray with some brake clean and clean it off as best as you can. You can use Q-tips as well. Now, some of the instructions say that you should remove the boot, but I think that's only needed if you plan on replacing the boot. I don't, because my boot still looks pretty good. So I'm just gonna try to fix it this way, or re-grease it this way. Alright, so this is what it looks packed with grease, and you want to just make sure it's completely packed in there with grease. Alright, so before you put the cap back on, you want to make sure you have a very thin layer of HONDABOND. I'm looking for my flashlight. Yeah, so you want a very thin layer of HONDABOND or PERMATEX gray. You don't want this to make contact with the grease at all. So I'm just doing it along the edge here. And then yeah, once you're done this, you can go ahead and put the cap back on. So PERMATEX gray takes an hour to cure. So they said to torque the nuts or the bolts after an hour. So we're going to put the cap back on, let it sit, we'll tighten everything down, and then I'll tighten it again after an hour. I also added a bit of grease to the cap because that's how I took it off. It had a bit of grease on it, so you know, you're just trying to replicate what you removed. Alright, so now the cap does have a marking on it. It has a blue marking here at the top. And then there's also a marking here. You can barely see it, but there's a blue marking here. And that blue marking lines up with the spider gear here. So yeah, you basically just want to line this up like so. And there you go. It fits perfectly on. Everything lines up. And so now we just got to reinstall those two Allen keys. Allen hex heads, whatever, bolts. Alright, so the front side is done. So the transmission side is done. I put back the hex heads. So I'm going to let it sit for an hour, and then after an hour, I have to retighten these hex heads. And the HONDABOND should have enough time to cure. Alright, so the rear, or the differential side, is very much the same. You got old grease here, you have old grease here as well. So we're just going to remove as much grease as we can, and then add new grease in. This rear cap was a little bit harder to take off, so I just put a screwdriver here and tapped it lightly with a hammer and it came off. But yeah, so just scrape off the HONDABOND and then go from there. I totally forgot to film the greasing part, but basically it's the same thing as doing the front. Pack it with grease, add a small thin layer of HONDABOND or PERMATEX gray, put the cap back on, put your Allen keys in. We're gonna wait an hour and then come back in and tighten these as tight as you can, I guess. Now keep in mind, this was never built to be taken apart, so there are no torque specs, or at least I haven't found any. So you just want to get it nice and tight, I guess. And then so after an hour we'll come back, tighten it up, and then you just have to reinstall this afterwards and you're good to go. It's pretty straightforward. I'm glad I didn't have to remove the boot, because the boot still looks like it's in good condition, so I'm not going to worry about that. So I'm hoping the HONDABOND holds better and we don't see any more leaks. But yeah, so these are the LHT bolts. These are stronger. They're still Allen head or hex head keys, but apparently they're stronger and they're made to be reused. We'll be installing these afterwards. Alright, so go ahead and reinstall your drive shaft. Pretty simple, everything bolts right back up. Just follow the markings that you made earlier. So as you can see here, the markings line up. For AP1, torque these down to 25 foot-pounds. For AP2, it's 36, I believe. But that's basically it. I personally would say don't drive your car for maybe for another day. The reason why I say that is give the HONDABOND or the PERMATEX, whatever, give it some time to fully cure, and that way you know for a fact that it's cured and no more grease is gonna spill out. And don't forget to clean up the grease on the side here, and then just continue to monitor and just ensure that grease still isn't flying out of here. Alright, so I'm just torquing these down. So this is kind of the doohickey that I have to put together in order to get it through. I don't know, it's a really tight space. I think you need a smaller torque wrench. So this is a 3/8 torque wrench. Maybe you need a smaller one, but this is what I had to do to make it work. But torquing it down to 25 foot-pounds. Make sure your e-brake's on. Alright, so everything's been torqued up. I also marked the bolts with some paint. This way I'm going to do a checkup and make sure that the bolts stay tight in their position. And I'm also going to monitor the sides here and make sure that's not spewing out grease. But other than that, the install wasn't too bad. It was just that one bolt that needed to be cut off, but other than that, this install was pretty easy. So if you found this video helpful, leave a comment, like the video, and subscribe.